Hi, hello there. So this is just a little video of me just kind of like giving like my thoughts and impressions on the first episode of the Vento Audio anime of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, otherwise known as Golden Wind. I don't know. I think Vento Audio just sounds cooler, but it still means Golden Wind at the end of the day, so it doesn't really matter. But so yeah, this is just like my first thoughts, impressions on what I thought on the first episode, stuff like that. So let's get started. Uh, so first off, just to iterate, I got into JoJo literally last year, and at that time, only the first four parts were animated via the anime. So I watched the first four parts via the anime, and then I read the remaining parts via the manga. So I read part 5, 6, 7, and 8. Currently waiting the next chapter of part 8 as we speak at this moment. So, and because of that, I can safely say that I really love part 5. It's like my favorite part in the whole series. I'm not even gonna lie when I say that. Like, part 7 is like a close second there, but part 5 is just so fucking good, and it's just amazing. So with that being said, I had some like pretty high expectations when the anime was finally confirmed, and from what I've seen of like the PVs and like the sneak peeks and everything, it doesn't seem too disappointing. Like, I've actually, the character models look pretty nice, look pretty cool. It does seem to look, stylistically, it does seem to look more like the Dust Spoke Rohan Kishibe OVAs, which isn't bad. Like, it doesn't look completely like shit, but it doesn't look completely terrible, because the Dust Spoke Rohan Kishibe style, like, it's not bad, but my god, like, what happened to Koichi and Okuyasu, like, what the fuck. So yeah, it just seems to sort of be more of like mesh between parts 3 and 4, if we're talking about style, which I actually really like, because it still maintains some like the grit and like tone of what part 5 is as a whole, which is the fucking like Italian gangsters. Like, what the fuck you expect? This shit's gonna get wild and fucking crazy. So yeah, so let's get right into it, I guess. So yeah, all right. So first off, just to point out, when I first saw like the concept art and all that stuff, when I saw like the pink Giorno look, like, I don't want to give the impression that I hate the pink Giorno look, but overall, I just wasn't really that like satisfied with it. It's just like I just don't prefer it when it comes to like the blue and red look that he's known for in the manga, and like just canonically wise. But I mean, like, it's whatever. Like, it's not a big deal at the end of the day. And from what I've seen of the anime stylistically wise, like concerning colors, like I do guess the pink does kind of like seem to mesh pretty well. I still think they should have I still think it probably would have looked like just as fine, if not better, with like the blue red style. But at the end of the day, like, it's not really a big deal with me. Like, I'll take it as long as I get Giorno. And we all know, and if you know me, you know that I love Giorno. Like, he is literally my favorite Joestar in the whole series. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, he has the cruelty of Dio and the nobility of Jonathan. Like, what more could you want? Like, this is just fucking amazing. Like, I don't know what you could possibly want more. So, getting into the episode, we see around the beginning parts or so, just introducing Giorno, whatever, and him just going through, like, Naples, just doing his shit. And then we get to him, like, like, where he first starts off in the airport, and we see, like, the scene where he's just impressing the cops, like, the security guards, with, like, him stuffing his earlobe into his head. Like, I always found that pretty funny, and I'm actually glad that they did that, and it looks just really fucking cool. Along the lines of that, we do see him, like, just interacting with Koichi, who got to the airport on his mission and shit like that, and he's just like, hey, I'll give you a fucking ride, and it's just, I'll pull a little, like, trick on you and steal your fucking luggage, and then Koichi's just kind of there like, haha, you thought, bitch, like, Echoes Act 3, and, okay, going back to Koichi, like, he looks pretty okay, he doesn't look too bad. Like, I will say, animation-wise, like, Giorno does seem to be, like, a little stiff at some parts, but I will say, like, stylistically and overall through the episode, he does seem to show more fluidity in his movements, which I am pretty glad for. But yeah, overall, the stiffness kind of just got to me a little bit. But it does get better if you just watch it like in motion. And But yeah, going back to Koichi, like he looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. You know, he has like the blue jacket now. He decided, I guess, to just ditch the green jacket and just go with the blue one. And he has way bigger eyes than I last expected, or maybe I'm just fucking stupid and whatever. But yeah, I mean, Koichi's definitely blue here. And then we see like, you know, like the shot of him, you know, kind of just like, hey, you thought, bitch, like I got my echoes out, like and I just waged your fucking car down. And then we get to like that iconic scene with like the whole frog in the car, and he just jumps out. And I actually really thought that was pretty nice. I like because like the frog has a pretty good impact in the manga as a whole in that one scene. And so yeah, that's just all I wanted to say, honestly. So then we get to the parts where he encounters Leaky Eye Luca. And Luca's being like, oh, yo, where the fuck's my money? Like, bitch, like, what the fuck you doing? And Giorno's like, I don't fucking have it. And Leaky's just like, what? And it's like, I don't fucking have it. Like, just don't make me repeat myself. And I'm really glad that they made this look so fucking cool. Like, especially the fact that, like, he's just like, don't make me fucking repeat myself. Because, in general, Giorno is just really that menacing. Like, he knows how to get shit done. And he knows he's good enough to the point where he's not gonna fucking take someone like Leaky Eye Luca that seriously. So in that sense, I'm really glad that like they depicted this with like pretty cool visuals and looks. And then we get to know the part where like, you know, the frog is on him and Leaky Eye Luca is just like, get that fucking thing off of him. And he's just like, I can't fucking do anything about it. I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. And you know, like Luca hits him, hits the frog. And then like the iconic manga panel where just like the hit reflected back on Luca's head, and then he just fucking like died, which is pretty cool just to see in anime wise, and it's just really nice as a whole. So I kind of just wanted to talk about this a little bit more. So we see Giorno say gold experience, but it just subtitles into golden wind. It's just whatever. Like as much as I love Jojo manga wise, it pretty much is like there's so much copyright shit in there, and this is a localized anime. You're obviously not gonna be able to get away with that, so you know you're obviously gonna have to like localize names and change them, which isn't a big deal at the end of the day. Like, you know, it's whatever. But it also makes you think like if they did make like a part 6 anime, like are they gonna name Stone Free, Stone Ocean, and then fucking Weather Report, Weather Forecast? Like I don't know. Like it's like some of the localized names that I'm not a huge fan of. Like the fact that like Narancha's stand Aerosmith, I'm pretty sure they're gonna like change the name to Lil Bomber. But you know, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. Like as long as we still have the cool fucking stands, that's all that fucking matters. So yeah, we see the iconic gold experience. Now, I really like the fact that it has purple accents. If I'm being honest, like I didn't hate the initial gold experience color look, but I felt like it was just a bit too much yellow, and that kind of just like rubbed off a bit weird to me as a whole. But I will say like the fact that it has purple accents like in the eyes and like the chin and like his little and around his hands and his waist, that is really cool to me. Like, you know, because purple complements yellow and you want to like make it look fucking cool, and it does work stylistically well with that. So I'm actually really glad that they made Gold Experience have like purple accents in his look. And then, you know, we get to like the iconic scene where he's life spring forth like the tree branches and shit like that, and he's encased in the tree branches, and Koichi's like gonna fucking like trying to get him and punches him, and he gets knocked back. And I just really like this scene as a whole. It's just so iconic. You know, it's just in general like the iconic scenes look really good in the anime. I still think you should like read the manga if you have the chance, because it just looks really awesome, like both anime and manga wise. But yeah, that's essentially just what I wanted to give my thoughts on. And then we get to the iconic scene with the interaction between Giorno and Bucciarati. Now, I fucking love this man. He is one of the best Jobros. I'd even argue that he's probably like, in my list personally, he's like top 2. He's like second place in my top Jobros. Like, he is that fucking cool. He's just behind Gyro in terms of like overall impact in the story and shit like that. I feel like Gyro just had like more development than Bucciarati did in his part. But to be fair, like Gyro from part 7, like that was Ultra Jump, and Ultra Jump's a monthly series, and Bucciarati's from like a Shonen Jump, which is like a weekly thing. So like I can't really blame them if they didn't really have much time to like develop him that much. But I will say that I love Bucciarati so much, and he looks so fucking badass in the anime. Like I am such a huge fan of his look, and I'm actually really glad that they kept like the standard white look. It just works really well, if I'm being honest. And we get to the scene where he's just like, oh, but if I was a cop, then what the fuck would you have done? And yeah, that's all I want to say. I don't know why I separated that. Whatever. Yeah, just in general, this whole thing's unscripted. I'm just going off here just to let you know. It's just whatever. And then we get to like that little like scene of Giorno and like Bucciarati just kind of menacingly looking at Giorno and shit like that. I'm surprised they didn't like have like those little like menacing like Japanese characters around them. Like you at least expect them to have that, but they didn't. Whatever, it's not a big deal. And oh my god, oh yes, this was the scene that I was looking the most forward to. The iconic like taste of a liar, like the iconic Bucciarati lick scene. And this right here is just beauty. This is just fucking amazing, and this just shows me like, okay, this anime is gonna look fucking badass and gonna look fucking good. I know it's only the first episode, like who knows, maybe like future episodes might look a bit weird at some points, but you know what, it's whatever. It's just honestly, I'm really impressed by the animation visually, and I really do want to see more. And just the fact that like this lick scene was executed with such awesomeness and such tone and like really good like execution, I'm just fucking like, I'm sorry, I just really fucking like this lick scene. And okay, I actually really like the fact that they implemented like his sort of Bucciarati's stand ability with like sticky fingers, with, like the zipper on Giorno's face. That was just really like nice to me. I actually really like that he had that little like touch to it. And we got like a little iconic scene with Bucciarati kind of showing his stand, sticky fingers. Who knows, maybe like in the localized they might change the name, like whatever the fuck, like who cares, honestly. And then but yeah, and then that's pretty much all I want to talk about. We go back to like the really cool looking gold experience with the purple and shit like that. So yeah, like overall I'm just really impressed with the first episode, and this right here just makes me more excited for like future events within the part. From what we've seen within the first episode, it seems the next episode is gonna be like the Giorno versus Bucciarati fight, and Giorno's just like, hey, I'm gonna make you my ally, and then shit like that. And then it might end off like I don't think it'll get to the part where Giorno like starts the initiation process of being recruited into Passion, but rather like it just might just cut off into him meeting Pulpo and like sort of to be continued, whatever. So I guess that's what the pace might going. But in general, it just makes me excited for like future parts, like Giorno just meeting the whole Bucciarati's gang, Narancia, Bacchio, Mista, and Fugo. I'm really excited for that, especially Narancia. Like, out of everyone in fucking in Bucciarati's gang, I fucking love Narancia. He's just the most iconic trap and the fucking best, if I'm being honest. Not to mention the fact that Narancia is literally voiced by Deku, and I already like Hero Academia enough, and it's just so weird to think like Deku gives up his life of being wanting to be a pro hero to now being an Italian gangster. It's just fucking crazy, And also just for future fights, like Kraftwerk, fucking Man in the Mirror, Little Feet, Grateful Dead especially, like I'm really looking forward to, because that was a really awesome arc. And also just like the whole like, also if I'm being honest, like this is gonna go into spoiler territory. Okay, like I'm already talking about future parts of future like arcs of this part as a whole, so you should at least know that like I'm probably gonna spoil some shit. But it makes me really excited to like see the Metallica versus like Doppio fight. That was really fucking cool and awesome. And in general, like I'm just really excited to see La Squadra in animated form. But while we're on the topic of like future events, it also makes me really excited to see like how Trish will look in the anime, because if I'm being honest, like Trish is the best. Like in my top list of JoJo girls, she's like number 2. She's that fucking cool. And especially her stan, Spice Girl, is literally fucking Spice Girl, and it screams "wanna be" as a stan cry. Like, what else could you fucking ask for? But yeah, so that's all my thoughts and impressions. I'm really happy with this first episode, and I'm looking forward to watching the whole anime. Who knows? Maybe it might, kind of go with the part 3 route and just kind of be like, hey, we're gonna fucking end off and then pick it back up or some shit. Who knows? Maybe it'll just be continuous, whatever. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you guys are having a good day, and take care. And also just remember, muda muda. Okay, bye.